So I need to get started on this top. So I guess first thing we need to do is joint an edge along this that these things will come together a little better than they are now. So let's take this over to the jointer and get started on that.
If you guys missed the last video, this is my super high-end, roughly 65-year-old Powercraft 6-inch jointer. This thing may not be all that great to look at, but it will joint a nice clean edge, which is really all I care about. Now, somehow I managed to lose the footage of me gluing this top up after jointing it, but rest assured, it got some wood glue along the edge and then in the clamps it went. It just wouldn't be a video without some missing footage, am I right?
Let's get this thing out of the clamps though. Okay, so as you can see, it didn't come out totally smooth right there, so we've got a little bit of work to do to get that smoothed out across there, but I think the actual joint is quite nice. I'm pretty happy with that. So I think all in all, this thing's gonna look pretty good. We'll get her smoothed off and leveled off, and then we'll go from there.
So I don't have one of those nice drum sanders. I don't even have the space for one if I did have it. And the one I usually have access to is almost 2 hours away from my shop. But what I do have is this little handheld belt sander that I got from my neighbor's garage sale. I asked how much she wanted, and she said, "I just want it to go away. Take it." That's my kind of price. And right here, it just paid for itself.
Yeah, I'm super happy with how that came out. So that sanded out pretty smooth. I think that joint just all but disappeared there as I sanded it smooth. I think that's going to work just great. I'm really happy with the way these jointed together. I think that book match came out really nice. This thing's going to look pretty good. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. Next step is to start trimming this thing to shape and start working out this neck pocket area for the fretboard to fit into. And I also need to trim that neck blank on the neck through section of that guitar. Now that I know how thick this thing is, we can start working on all of that. So that'll give me my depth that I need to trim for the neck through portion. And then we can start fitting this around the fretboard, get this thing fit over it. But yeah, super good shape here. I'm really happy with the way that came together. So we're looking good. Let's get on with that.
I'm sure there are better ways to do this step, but the way I chose to do it was to just clamp it in my leg vise, grab my Japanese pole saw, and start cutting along the line I scribed to the thickness I need this to be. I'm being a little bit cautious with my cut because I know I will fine-tune this later. This is just a rough cut to remove the bulk. And after setting the kerf, I decided to switch to my big saw, mostly because the pole saw was taking too long, and I'm impatient. That brings us to my fine-tuning method, this somewhat janky router flattening jig. So with the body wing stuck to the neck, I can use my router and a Freud 1/2" Shank 1¼ Mortising bit. This is my go-to bit for slab flattening using a router like this. It's not too big that it causes vibration in your router, and it's big enough that it gets the job done in a timely manner. Again, I'm impatient. I did flip the guitar over and do the other face as well. After the top side was flattened, I needed to clean up the area at the end of the fretboard, which was done with chisels and a bunch of handwork.
Okay, let's talk about this. Now, what I've done here wasn't exactly precise, but as you can see, my neck template does fit on here relatively well. So I think we can work with this. All I need to do is, as you can see, my template has a little more of a rounded corner than my neck does. So if I just round these off a little bit, this should snug right up on here. Then I can use this template to cut the recess in the top as well. It's not rocket science, but I think we can figure it out. That's not a terrible fit. I think we're good here. Let's move on to the top.
With the neck ready to accept the top, I head over to my bandsaw to cut the top to the rough shape. And while we're there, we can also rough cut the neck pocket. With the top prepped and ready to go, I can get my router template on it. Some double-sided tape and yep, stuck that on upside down. We'll just remove that tape, flip it over the right way, and try that again. Thanks for letting me know on that one, guys. So with the template now in place and my router bit set to the right depth, we can just buzz around that and clean up that neck pocket area. Again, this is just an Amana Tools 1/4 inch shank, 3/8 inch diameter upper bearing bit with a 1/2 inch cutting depth. I'll link to this one and the Freud bit as well if you're interested in either one of them.
that'll work. And with that, we've got this top ready to go. Next on the list is going to be getting these pickup cavities routed. We need to put a Floyd Rose tremolo system in this thing, get a cavity cut for our controls. But I think the next thing we want to do is get busy with this neck. It's time to start carving this thing. So next up on the list is going to be getting some side dots in this thing, start carving the back of this neck. But I'm going to save that for the next video. So be sure to subscribe so you know when that video is coming, and click that notification bell so you don't miss it when I post it. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Maybe share it with your friends, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks a lot.
Voyeur Guitars. Who's watching you?